What is going on? We are live here at Homemade, and you are not seeing a rerun. We are back with our incredible buddy, Jody Bogle.
Oh, thank you.
Of Bogle Family Vineyards.
Three times.
Three
times a charm.
Yeah, but it's always been a charm. You're amazing. We're going to talk a lot about Jody and about Bogle Family Vineyards, one of our amazing partners here in the kitchen when it comes to what we're sipping next to what we're eating. I love it.
You can't have one without the other.
I kind of am with you. People don't realize the complimentary situation that goes down.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's legitimate. But you guys, there's thousands of people signed up for this class, so we're just waiting for you guys to kind of populate. I know. Hi guys, hi Lena, hi everybody. Yeah, we've got a big group today, and I know now you guys are getting used to our Bogle classes, which is really exciting, and we're really offering something new in these classes because we're going to dive a little bit deep into a different varietal. We've done it every episode, and we've got family member here who is really walking us through, which is really cool. But if this is your first time to Homemade, we're so excited. I'm Joel. I'm the head chef of Homemade, and what makes this special, different than YouTube, different than Food Network, is you can talk to us. So in real time, you can raise your hand, we can call on you, you can ask questions to myself or Jody, or in the chat, you have another chef, our culinary producer. Give it up for Meg. What's up, Meg?
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. I love these classes. It's really
Are you a wine
it's fun
drinker?
to be.
I've never asked you that. Are you a big wine drinker?
Yeah, I love wine.
I think if you're a chef, kind of to your last point, hard to not see a relation there.
I'm biased. I think wine goes with everything. I don't even need a chef to enjoy the wine. So,
Yeah,
no, I mean,
fair.
but we'll take you.
Yeah,
So.
we'll take it. Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. Well, today we're going to make an amazing mushroom stuffed pork chop. We're going to do this with a really beautiful salad. What I think is interesting about today, and then Jody, if you don't mind, I know this is our third class, but we do have some newbies. We have some people who now get to know you a little bit more. But what I love about this class is there are some stuff here in this recipe that I think, as a chef, as someone who does love wine, I would think is hard to pair with wine.
Okay.
Broccoli, hard to pair with wine, in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'm excited to kind of dive into it.
Sure.
Feta, gamey, salty. Pork in general, like, do you go red, do you go white? There's a lot of questions here, I think. So I'm excited to kind of dive into it. But real quick, can we dive into you and Bogle Family Vineyards?
Absolutely.
Give us the 411.
Well, first of all, we need a glass of wine in hand to talk about. You've waited too long.
I haven't waited.
We're 2 minutes. We're 2 minutes in.
I love it. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna crack open the wine. And today we're drinking
our Pinot Noir, Bogle Family Vineyards Pinot Noir. So our family has been farming in the Clarksburg region of Northern California since the 1870s.
That's amazing.
My grandfather and my father together were the first ones to plant wine grapes in the area in 1968. It was really kind of I don't want to call it a happy surprise or a failed experiment. My grandfather was a corn farmer, and so he was looking for something he didn't have to replant every year. So he planted potatoes, and they all immediately died.
You didn't tell me that. That's funny. I didn't know that.
So he had somebody come out, and the gentleman said, "Mr. Bogle, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to your wine grapes, but this is beautiful country. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to your potatoes, but this is beautiful country for wine grapes." So we planted 10 acres of Petit Syrah and 10 acres of Chenin Blanc, and they flourished. And then we grew grapes for 10 years for other wineries like Wente and Charles Krug. And then in 1978, we put it under our own Bogle Family Vineyards label.
And thank God you did. All I have to say is you have to think about how innovative that is for the time. It's not like Napa or Northern California was thought about how it is today. That didn't really happen until the 70s or 80s,
late
80s.
Yep,
So it's very...
The Robert Mondavi era.
Yes.
When, everyone started, wine became the French paradox and the challenge of Paris tasting.
Yeah.
So that was when wine really took off here in the U.S.
Yeah. So for your family member to just think that far ahead is incredible. So smart. And it worked great. All right. Shall we give a little
cheers?
Sniff and a taste?
Okay. So funny story. So I have a friend who watched the last episode.
Yeah.
She goes, you sniff your wine a lot.
I do? Or
No,
you
me.
Do?
She says to me,
Calls you out?
yeah, oh yeah. So I watched it again with my kids. Yeah, 18 times. She's
no,
right.
you counted? I love that you counted.
18 times.
Okay,
so
well, that's your thing.
I've already counted once. I caught myself. I'm going to try to be better. I'm going to try not to sniff the wine so much.
That's a bad thing. Well, why do people sniff their wine? Why is that so important?
Wine isn't just about taste. It's about aromas. And so much of the taste that we get is through our aromas. It's a whole thing.
Yep.
And so it's just second nature to me.
Yes.
That I didn't quite realize I did
love
it so much. So.
All right. So what are we tasting for with the Pinot Noir before
Pinot Noir is a really lovely, lighter style red varietal. You can see it's this brilliant ruby color. It's kind of dazzling in the glass. You have some lovely aromatic. Too. Now I'm going to be so self-conscious every time.
I want someone at home to be counting live and put it in the chat.
Anyway, so lots of bright cherry, cola. There's also a real earthy component to Pinot Noir. I wore red because I didn't want to spill.
Yeah, when you say earthy,
yes.
Does that mean like umami? Like, how do you translate that for someone who doesn't really understand?
Pinot Noir, when it's Pinot Noir specifically, can really, I think it's a perfect pairing for mushrooms because it's almost like that earthy forest floor kind of.
Yes.
And some Pinots can go way too far that direction. What I love about our Bogle Family Vineyards Pinot is that it's got a beautiful balance of that bright fruit and a little touch of that kind of denseness.
Yes.
And then it's finished with some beautiful French oak barrels. So you get a little vanilla and a little caramel on the finish.
This is what we always say about Bogle, and we're going to put it in the chat, but you can always find the store locator. It is distributed nationally, so you can find it at your local grocer
Oh, man.
or
That's
local
delicious.
wine shop. It is so drinkable, and we're going to talk about why Bogle decided to partner with us and why we decided to partner with them, because both of us kind of have this mission. Our mission is to get people cooking and make the kitchen more approachable, and I believe that you guys really make it your mission or your focus to make wine approachable and not, wine can get really snooty really fast.
Thank
you guys
you.
don't do that.
We really try hard because it's a beautiful accompaniment to wine and food and lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Right? But it doesn't have to be complicated.
No.
And it shouldn't be daunting.
No, celebrate it, keep it cash.
Exactly.
I love it. All right. Well, we're going to
We have
start.
to get to work now?
Yeah, now this is where I put Jody to work. Now she's in my kitchen. So the first step to this pork chop, first and foremost, is the stuffing. Have you ever stuffed a pork chop before?
I have actually stuffed a pork chop, but I've never done it with mushrooms.
Yeah, okay. So we've got 3 different types of mushrooms. Here in Seattle, we're kind of in mushroom country.
Those are beautiful.
Aren't these
I don't know
gorgeous?
what they are, and they are.
Do you know any of them or no? No? Let's ask you guys at home if anyone can name what you see on the plate here. These are so beautiful. What do you see in the chat there, Meg? What are people calling out? What's
So
this
you're
first
just
one?
waiting a
This one,
second
everyone
for-
should know this one.
And I have to say, I've been learning so much being here and
Really?
cooking with you, Joel. Every
Aw.
episode, I've learned something
That
new,
makes
taking
me
it back to
so
my home
happy.
kitchen.
Well, I feel the same thing about the wine. I really do. Meg, what are people saying? Anything in the chat?
Yeah, I've got some shiitake.
Yes, shiitake is the first one that I'm slicing. Anyone?
Got it.
This is the I think this is the second hardest
Oh yeah,
one.
oyster.
Oyster.
got
And these look like little oysters, and they kind of have a little bit of like a oceany vibe to them. So
Can you eat all of these raw?
totally.
Okay.
You can eat them all raw. And right now we're just kind of chopping them all up rough into small pieces. And then anyone know this one? Do you know this one? This is called beach mushrooms.
I would never have guessed.
And you can
that.
find these
Heard
at the
a
grocery
million
store. And I will say, if all you can find is a button mushroom,
that's
go with
fine
a
too.
button mushroom.
Okay.
But if you can find these kind of wild varieties, it makes the stuffing way more dynamic and interesting. So,
Can I ask you
Yeah.
a question? Because I want to learn more about mushrooms.
Yes.
Wash them or don't wash them?
Good
This is like a
question.
huge deal.
Good question. So number one, we always give them a little bit of a rinse. I have no problem with the water, but a lot of chefs think that the mushrooms take on the water. There used to be a chef that worked here named Ben, and we would have this constant, I know there's some homemakers who remember, constant back and forth where he would say, never, no
Never.
water. And I'm like, forget about it, it's gonna be fine. So my thing is, it's okay, it doesn't soak in, it's gonna be okay. If you're worried about it, just grab a little brush and do it. It's a
Okay.
little, easy peasy. All right, we've got a hot pan. I got some olive oil. Jody, you're gonna go with some olive oil.
How, like a tablespoon, 2
Yeah,
tablespoons?
a couple.
What do we think?
I'm gonna say glugs. Give me 2 glugs. There you go. And I'm gonna really crank the heat. And when you're cooking mushrooms, I actually want to go with another.
One more glug?
Yeah, go with another
Wasn't another glug? All right, sorry.
That's beautiful. And then go in with all the shrooms.
All
Go
of
for
them?
it. Yep,
Okay.
all of them. And the big thing about when you're cooking mushrooms is you don't want to crowd a pan, or else they're not going to lose their water. Mushrooms have so much water. That's why.
And you don't salt them
Why? Why do you think?
because it pulls out the moisture
Exactly,
too fast.
exactly.
I do know that one.
That was really good. That was awesome. Here's a little spoon for you.
Thank you.
So we're going to stir that up. So Jody's 100% right. You don't salt these. You just kind of let them cook out, and then you can see all your oil's already gone. They just are like little sponges.
Right.
So they just soak it up, and it just happens so quickly. So we're going to let those cook for about a minute. We've got some onions,
Sorry.
and we've got garlic. And this goes back to kind of like tricky stuff to pair with. Again, onions and garlic. Like,
No.
No, you feel like that's kind of evergreen?
Well, onions and garlic, they're the base of every dish I make in my kitchen. I mean,
Yeah.
is there any, how much stuff do you make in your
Totally.
kitchen that doesn't have
Totally.
onion and garlic just as a base?
Yep, I'm with you. By the way, you can see Jody's literally scraping the bottom.
Am I
There's
supposed
no
to
more
be
oil.
doing that?
You're doing great.
Okay.
But you see how dry it
Yes,
gets?
I know.
It's unbelievable. So go with a little more oil. If it happens
Do you
to
want
you
me
at
to do
home,
that?
Yeah,
More
go
oil.
for it. It
Okay.
smells so good.
I think I'm always afraid to just put too much.
No.
Okay.
There's something, I used to work at a salmon stand in San Francisco, in Northern Cal.
Oh, wow.
And we would put these cream cheeses on breads, and we would make these beautiful salmon sandwiches.
Oh.
And she would say, juice it up. My boss would be like, juice it up. This is the same thing. You got to juice it
Okay,
up. Make it
all
look
right.
juicy.
That's
All
why
right, it's
everything's-
getting a little bit of color.
Yep.
So go with onions and garlic.
Okay.
Beautiful. Now, right now, we're getting all these smells of onion and garlic, but I know in Clarksburg, where you guys are from,
Yes.
there's a lot of smells going on. Not onions and garlic, but it's a certain time of year. Tell us a little bit
It's
about what's
harvest. Oh, it's harvest time. Our favorite time of year after a year's worth of work in the vineyards. Put it all to heat. Over a year's worth of work in the vineyards, the grapes are ripe. So harvest actually for us at Bogle takes about, 8 weeks.
8
End of
weeks? That
August to
surprised me
end
to
of
hear.
end of August to end of October.
I thought harvest was like a day or two.
Well,
Because it's like a very specific moment
So
in time.
we have a lot of vines. We actually have 2,000 acres of vines that we farm.
Okay.
And my brother Warren is the vineyard manager.
I die for the whole family stuff.
Oh my
I love
gosh,
it.
he's wonderful. This is his 27th harvest.
Oh my gosh.
And so he's been doing this for
Grabbing more
so
oil.
oh, okay. He's been doing this for so long, and he just but everything kind of comes in at a different time, right? We start with the light whites like Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Grigio, and then we move on to Chardonnay. Right now, we're right in the thick of Chardonnay, and we grow a lot of Chardonnay in Clarksburg, so it grows very, very well
Do
there.
reds kind of, do they happen later
Yep,
or earlier than
reds
the white?
develop last.
Interesting.
You want them to hang on the vine as much as possible.
Why?
So that they can develop all that complexity and that gorgeous kind of concentration. You want them to hang on the vine, and they also, as they hang on the vine, they lose a little bit of the moisture in them. They
Yes,
start to
concentrate a little bit.
and
Yep.
so you don't want them to become raisins, but
Right.
you definitely want as much flavor as you can get, because we all know quality starts in the vineyard.
It's so interesting as you're talking about the grape and you're talking about losing moisture, and we're doing this with mushrooms, and you're like, you want to leave them on the vine as long as I can. It's kind of the same thing. You want to leave this on the
Yep.
heat as long as you can to kind of get sweet and caramelized. There's just so many
Do I want
synergies.
and you want me to keep
No, this looks great.
stirring
This
and let
looks
it just
awesome.
sit for a little bit?
Yeah, just kind of scrape
Let
it.
hang
But you
out?
know, well, if you scrape it a little bit, just so the camera can see, you guys will see this brown. Do you know what this is called, Jody, in cooking? The brown on the bottom of
No,
the
but
pan?
I know if I have wine, I can pull it up and get all the flavors.
Guess what? We have a little wine. So
Do
you want
we?
to give a splash of
Really?
Pinot Noir? Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Are you okay with cooking with this?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then you get to
Scrape
get
it
all
up,
the little brown
deglaze.
bits up.
Yep. So this is called fond, the little
Fun.
brown bit. Yeah.
I'm learning so much
Yeah,
today.
and it's all the
See?
little bits that get stuck on the bottom of the pan, and it smells so good. Your wine, again, it's not
Smells
fussy
so good.
wine. It pairs beautifully with this, and it's going to
Is
just...
your wine and mushroom facial today?
Does that not smell insane?
Smells so good.
All right, this is a good time for salt and pepper, so you can do that. And
Okay.
then this part's a little bit interesting for everyone at home. So when you're making a stuffing, whether it's for a pork chop or whether it's for a turkey for Thanksgiving, you really want the stuffing to be room temp or cold.
You didn't want this whole thing of pepper in there, did you?
Please no. Please no.
Just making sure. I didn't
No wine
figure-
would hold up to that. No wine in the world.
I didn't figure, but I
love it.
have to ask.
I love it. So what we're going to do is, if you can dump this into here, go for it. Yep, so you're just going to scrape all that in, and you can keep that pan right there on the stove. But we kind of want to cool down this stuffing right now, because if we add a hot stuffing into a piece of pork, it starts to kind of cook the pork already, and it makes it a little unsafe to eat.
Oh, thank you.
So, so we kind of want it to cool down just slightly, but we're going to add some more ingredients. So I got breadcrumbs.
And this is okay doing this right now?
Yeah, we'll turn it down a little
Okay.
bit just to get ready for the pork chops. Thank you for calling that out.
I feel like my stove always gets too hot, and when I put stuff, it just, and then the pan. And
You're the only person in the world that's ever said that to me. Everyone's like, I feel like my pan doesn't get hot enough.
Mine gets so hot.
I love it. I love it. All right, so Parmesan cheese,
Everything's better with Parmesan.
parsley,
Mm-hmm.
breadcrumbs. Give that whole thing a mix. Go for it, Jody. And then we'll kind of start to
this one or this one?
This one.
That's what I thought.
Yep. And this will just kind of start to cool down those mushrooms, and you're just making this perfect little stuffing. And this would be killer in a chicken breast. This would be incredible with lamb.
You could throw this on a topping of flatbread. That'd be really good.
That would actually be fantastic.
That'd be a beautiful little vegetarian meal.
You could slather this on a tire, and I'd eat it off it. I mean, this is very delicious. This is really good.
I don't know how that would go with the Pinot Noir.
Okay, another cheers real quick.
Cheers.
I love it. So this is cooling down for just a bit. We'll attack the pork in 1 sec, but I do want to reiterate, this is a family biz. You talked about your brother.
Yeah.
You have 2 brothers.
I work with my other brother as
Yeah.
well. Ryan is our CFO and kind of runs the number side of things,
Yes.
which is great because me and numbers, no bueno.
Me
so.
too. Me too.
I'm so lucky I get to travel and share the story with people
Yeah.
and cook and
Yeah.
it's just great.
And you know, a lot of people ask, we get emails all the time, so I just want to address, they have an incredible partnership with Safeway, so if you have a Safeway in your backyard, where's other retailers that people usually kind of find
If you have a grocery store near you, you're going to be able to find our Bogle Family Vineyards wines. You know, Whole Foods, our wines are at Target, our wines are at, you know, local, for folks across the country, Wegmans, Harris
Yep.
Teeter, Publix. You're going to find our wines nationwide.
I love it. Cool. Well, this comes the little surgery part of this. So we've got some pork chops. We got bone in. When you're looking for pork chops, you're looking for kind of that rosy pink color.
Okay.
Anything dull that starts to look a little bit more like a steak, put those back on the shelf.
They're not what you want.
They're just a little oxidized.
Okay.
They're not what you want. So that kind of bright, beautiful rosy pink, which these are great. And I'm going to do one, and then you're going to do one. Is that cool?
That's
So
fine.
you're going to follow suit.
All right.
I love having Jody here because she's a wine expert, but like so many of us at home, she's a home cook. So I like to see her struggle a little. I like to see a little sweat.
I don't cook much of the meat. My husband does. He's
Really?
this smoker,
Yes,
griller, like, you know,
Yeah, totally.
meat.
Guy.
Yeah.
He's a guy. He's
Yeah.
a guy. I love it.
And so pork is
This
his
is-
favorite. So we're going to make this when
I
we get
love
home.
it. I love
well,
it.
I have to tell you, I mean, I've made so many. I've been watching now since the last year.
Yes?
So many of the episodes. We eat shishitos at least once a week now.
No way.
My 10-year-old
That was
loves
a great
them.
episode.
Loves those
I just
shishitos.
made them this weekend. I love them.
So good.
Well, so for this pork, I kind of hold it tight,
Yep.
and I'm just taking a paring knife and I'm kind of holding on the end, and you just want to kind of create a little slit, and
The
you kind of
pocket, right?
little pocket, right? And if
Yeah.
your paring knife doesn't do it because there's fat, which is fine, go with your chef knife. If you need a little bit more superpower behind it, but you just want to be really careful and just kind of work your way through and just kind of open it like a
Oh.
book. Now, what you don't want to do is kind of saw at this point. You just want to use the tip of the knife
To get in there.
and just kind of get in there.
Do you go all the way to the bone?
You can, but I find that sometimes it rips and then you've got a
Okay.
big mess. So it's worth it just kind of going 3/4 of the way and kind of opening it up like that. And then what we're going to do is
And
take-
I would like to point out how perfect like each of the sides is.
It is so not.
He's got.
Get in here. It is
they're
so
perfect.
not.
Oh, it's a lot better than mine's going to be.
Well, this is why I love having you here. So I'm going to take about a spoonful of this and maybe a little bit more. And
Oh, look at that.
you just kind of put it in. And then we've got these little toothpicks.
Toothpicks.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So do you feel like you can do?
Yes.
All
I mean,
right.
I can't guarantee how well, but I'm game.
Yeah. And then with the toothpicks,
Here,
it's
liquid
like,
courage.
Oh my gosh, get out of here. Okay, so we're going to switch
It's just
spots.
because it's good.
It is so good. All right, one's done, you're
Okay,
up. I'm
thank
going to
you.
move the paring knife out of the way. So, yep, take it, bone away from you.
This one has a little bone, a little
Yeah.
tiny bone. Okay.
Yep, fingers on top. And you can get kind of vigorous in the beginning, and then once you kind of get in there, yep, which you just did. She did so good. Can we just take a moment? Jody Bogle.
Stop.
That is
see,
awesome. Now
you know,
use
I cut the
that's
meat.
perfect.
Do I need to come in here a little bit more?
Yeah, yeah. Just kind of feel it. That looks beautiful. Then about a spoon. I did about a spoon and a half. You did great.
Okay. Whew, pressure's off.
I mean, how long did that take? Maybe 30 seconds. I think people think, oh, stuffing a pork chop. I'll do that when company comes over. I'm never going to do that on Tuesday night. Then you kind of see it done in real time, and that's what I love about homemade. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal.
My mom and I used to do a lot of cooking for the winery. We used to do all our event cooking. And the first recipe you guys cooked, we cooked together, was her salmon cakes recipe.
Those were so good.
They were so fun. And so we used to cook a lot together for our events. And we had a recipe one time for veal chops, stuffed veal chops with mozzarella and basil, and it was pretty yummy.
I think when you stuff a piece of meat, it's awesome. Yeah, go give
Am I
your hands a
switching back?
wash. Go give
Oh,
your
you
hands a
want
wash.
to wash? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and I'll follow suit. But I'm going to add a little olive oil to this, you guys, enough to kind of coat the bottom of the pan. And I'm just going to season, and I put a little bit of the salt kind of on the board, but I'm just going to season this from up high. You can see it kind of holds together with salt and pepper.
Why do you season from up high? I saw that tip on your website. So why is that?
Because when you salt really close, it gets one spot, but when you salt up high, it kind of distributes.
That's
right?
yours.
Hey, I'm a saltaholic. All right, so this is all going in.
Beautiful.
These look really nice. All right, and I got this kind of dirty board here, so I'm going to move some of these ingredients off. And I'm going to take this kind of board away.
And you want this one over there now? Or not yet?
Yeah, we can transfer in a sec, but I will say, when it comes to handling meat, you guys know this, and this is what makes us different from everything else out there, but you see in real time how often we wash our hands, we get a new board, so we try to really show you guys what it's like at home, and I've had some classes where I wash my hands 6-7 times during a class, and that's okay. And I think some people think that's too much or whatever. It's never too much. Always err on the side a little safe.
I'm a very messy chef.
Are you?
Cook. I'm not a chef. I'm a very messy cook, so I wash my hands constantly.
I love it. Now, while these are searing,
you don't touch them.
You don't
leave them alone.
Yep.
Don't move them.
I said this last class is that, especially guys, I'm talking about your husband, the meat guy at home. Okay, they like to play with them a lot. So kind of just let them go, let them get crispy. While these are happening, I do got to do a little bit of, got to pump you up a little bit.
Oh.
But Bogle Family Vineyards, this is insane.
Do you need a little more wine?
Yeah, I'll take
for your soliloquy?
Yeah. They have 50 wines, 50, not 15, with 90 plus scores since 2000. So in the last 24 years, 50. Can you explain what is the scale? Why is that such a big deal? Because that's huge.
You know, 90-point scores you see quite a bit, but it's rare that you see them for wines that retail for under $10 on the shelf.
Yeah, these are under $10, guys.
Which I think I forget to mention a lot, that they're not only are they're part of the reason why they're approachable is because they're inexpensive. And if you don't know if you like a Bogle wine, you can pick one up off a shelf, take it home for $10, try it on Wednesday night with your pork chop, and if you don't like it, you never try it again, and you're out $10. So for us, our family, regardless of the cost, our goal is to over-deliver with every single bottle of wine. So, and quality is at the heart of that. And it starts, as I mentioned, all the way in the vineyard. So all of our vineyards, estate vineyards, are certified sustainable by the California Rules for Sustainable Wine Growing Program. It's a rigorous third-party certification program that requires that each field is actually audited every year.
Is this what we're talking about
and
here?
And this is the seal.
Yeah, can we get in close here?
Yeah.
So look for this seal. This is a big, huge deal, people.
We actually, it costs more to have your vineyard certified, and for our grower partners out there, we buy fruit. We have 2,000 acres, as I mentioned, but we also have grower partners around the state. So for our grower partners, we're paying them a bonus to be a part of that program as well. So this fruit in the Pinot Noir, for example, is from Clarksburg, where we're from, but there's also a little bit of fruit from one of the most famous Pinot growing regions, the Russian River Valley.
So good.
In Sonoma. So the growers there also are part of this program. And so quality starts in the vineyard.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you need to talk about what those look like and everything?
No, I'm enthralled. I love hearing you talk. But that's a big deal. I just want to reiterate, quality does start in the vineyard, and that's what led to these 90-plus point scores. Yeah. It's incredible. Okay, so yes, back to the pork chop. I flipped them. They got nicely browned. They are not cooked through. They are still raw in the middle, but we're going to do a little treatment to them.
I can see. Yep.
Yeah. Actually, Wes, can you grab me a spoon real quick? We're going to do a fun little trick here.
Ooh.
Called basting. Have you ever basted? I mean, you've basted, but butter basted? Maybe?
Yes, with fish.
Yeah.
I haven't done
Great
it with meat, but I've done it with fish.
Thank you,
And
Wes.
I can't say that I've done it well, so I want to see how this goes down.
I think you're going to learn how to do it well today. So this is really important for keeping meat super caramelized, really juicy. So what I'm going to have you do, Jody, is you're going to put in this butter right here in the pan. Yep, right in. And then we're going to let that kind of melt down and get kind of caramelized, brown butter. And I think that's going to pair really nice with kind of the oak finish with the Pinot Noir lens. And then we've got these thyme and rosemary situations. So
I love thyme.
A couple sprigs of both. There's no real measurement. Oh my God, it smells ridiculous in here. The butter hits, the thyme hits, the rosemary hits, the wine hits, and it's like boom. Oh my gosh.
Breaking it up a little.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we're going to do a quick little...
Is that enough rosemary, you think?
That's great. And you don't have to worry about too much if it gets small or big or whatever. But all we're going to do is kind of tip the pan towards us.
Okay.
And just take this beautiful kind of mixture and just baste.
Oh,
right?
My turn.
Yes.
All right.
And get the herbs on there, get the brown butter on there. You can just see the sheen that creates on this pork. It smells ridiculous.
It smells really good.
You guys, this recipe is obviously incredible for right now, but so good for the holidays. This one just blows people away.
Oh, I bet.
This looks great. All right, so it's foamy, delicious. That looks great. At this point, we're going to finish it in the oven, but we're going to braise them because pork chops get really dry, so adding a little liquid to them keeps them super juicy.
Okay.
So I got a little bit of chicken stock. Do you want to give another splash of the
Red
Bogle
wine?
family
The
vineyard?
Pinot?
Yes,
Absolutely.
just a little splashy poo. It's not in the recipe, but hey, if you got it, you got it. And then
It's less for us to drink, though, Joel. Although I think we're good.
I think we're set. So I'm just going to hold this up. Kylo, look how beautiful. That already looks like a cookbook. That looks awesome.
That's beautiful.
So I'm going to put this into the oven, 350 degrees, for about 5 to 10 minutes. The recipe says about 20 minutes. I think that's a little bit long. These are thin. So if you have a really thick one, you can leave it in for that long. How do we feel about that at home? Is everyone tracking? Jody, how do you feel about it?
I feel great.
You feel like you can make that?
Oh, absolutely. There hasn't been anything that I've seen you make that I haven't been able to make, and that's the whole point of homemade.
I agree, and I will say there is not anything that you make that I don't feel like I'm able to drink, meaning I can't afford it and that I won't bust it out on a normal night.
Nice.
Yes, go for it, Meg. It sounds like you have some questions or something.
I just was gonna say it smells so good in here. I love the smell of the wine with the rosemary too, because it kind of steamed up.
So nice.
Yeah, that was a good.
It's
that
incredible.
Was a good move.
It's incredible. You're starting to see this trend now with red wine happening and really interesting techniques in cooking. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this, but I've been seeing red wine sausages. I've been seeing red wine risottos. I've been seeing red wine reductions with fish. I've been seeing red wine in dessert a lot, like granitas, and it's a very big trend.
I think we have a red wine granita on our website. We have a list of family recipes on our website. I think we have one.
For real?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
If you've ever had a red wine granita, it's literally sugar, wine, water maybe, and that's it. And you freeze it and fluff it with a fork.
Yeah.
It's like a slushy.
Yeah.
And
Perfect
it's dangerous.
On warm. It's Now that it's fall though.
So
Still
good.
good.
So good. Yes.
Jody, could you fix your headset?
Yep. Just get in there. There you go.
All right.
We're live. This is how it goes,
This is
people.
how it goes.
All right. So while Jody's kind of adjusting that, I'm going to bust out some ingredients here. And we're going to make, Jody, you can bring over that stuff as well. We're going to make a really simple kind of fall-inspired salad. You can just place it right here. Broccoli's in season, people. This is one of those ingredients,
Isn't broccoli
Jody.
always in season?
I guess that's, no, I wouldn't say
No?
summer. No, this is cruciferous sometimes.
We eat broccoli at my house
Year-round.
year-round.
When
We
you,
do.
guys, broccoli to me, it's so much more than a steamed vegetable, don't you think? I mean, how do you make it at home? What do you guys do?
Anyway, my 10-year-old will eat it. No, she loves broccoli.
Deep fried.
No. So we, I steam it. I love oven roasting when it gets nutty and buttery and
or
oil
air frying. Oh
and
my
I
gosh.
like it air fried also.
I'm kind of addicted to the air fryer right now. I want to know at home, are you guys feeling the air fryer? Because I never realized how convenient it is.
Okay.
You know?
I just made some zucchini fries.
In the air fryer?
Mm-hmm. With panko and parm and.
How'd it come out?
They were so good.
Were they the big zucchinis or the small ones?
Well, I cut them into little fry size.
Batons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
amazing.
great.
I love that. All right, well, for this salad, this is really easy. We've got some really good spicy arugula. Again, not every wine in the world works with arugula. It's spicy, it's peppery. Pinot Noir really complements it.
I think because the Pinot Noir has such a luscious mouthfeel, there's such a great texture, it balances kind of the spiciness of the arugula, and I think it's going to pair beautifully with the broccoli as well. I also am a true believer in that if you like a wine or if you're drinking something that you enjoy, don't worry too much about what you're pairing with it to eat. Now, granted, there are certain things that sing when you put them together.
100%.
But it shouldn't be so complicated. If you want to drink red wine with fish, drink red wine with fish. You want to have a Chardonnay with your pork chops? Have Chardonnay with your pork chops.
I love that.
So.
And I agree with that. All right, so for this broccoli, I try and find broccoli when you can with a good stem to it. A lot of them are chopped to the top and they lose the stem. So when you're at the grocery store, this is just value added. And what I first do is I kind of chop at the roots, right? Everyone throws this away. Don't do that. You got to peel this back with your knife and kind of shave it like this. And this right here in a stir fry, that shaved in a salad like we're going to do today, stunning.
You can also save it in a bag in the freezer for vegetable stock.
You put your broccoli, that's really a good idea. I've never done that before. I love that. Well, I'm just going to kind of chop this up thin. This is going to add some crunch. And Jody, what I'm going to have you do is just kind of toss some things into this bowl.
This is still hot though, right?
Yep, so you got some cranberries. By the way, we were just kind of talking, Jody and I, both of our kids are back at school. It's school season, and for me, mine are in kindergarten. So it's a very emotional time. Yours is a 5th grader.
Yeah.
But you've been
not emotional at all.
So we're trying to sneak vegetables and fruits. No, that's beautiful.
Okay, you wanted all the same.
Yeah, into their lunches. So we're kind of connecting on that, but I think it's so funny. So here's kind of the shaved broccoli.
Great.
Isn't that beautiful already?
It's pretty.
And then what I like to do is give this thing a little haircut, and then I save a little bit of the rest. So literally just kind of run your knife, and it finds kind of makes this like little couscousy vibe.
Yep. It adds that texture. That's great.
You like that?
I do.
I think that's huge. I think salad for me is a
texture in salad.
That's everything.
Wheat berries, rice, quinoa in salad.
Everything.
Always.
Yep. All right. So last ingredient I have here after this broccoli gets chopped and added is a little red onion, and I'm just going to shave really thin. Jody said I'm not allowed to let her mandolin everything, but she'll chop. So I'm going to save the shaving stuff for me. But all right. So you're going to make a little dressing, Jody.
Okay.
So what you have in this dressing.
You showed me how to do everything but take the lid off. I
got
it.
Yeah, there you go. You figured it out. So by the way, we love this. This is a wireless. Pick that puppy up, Jody. I love this. Yeah, it's so nice. So this is just a little food processor, and we're going to make a quick little dressing. One of the flavor profiles in the Pinot Noir from Bogle Family Vineyards is apricot, which you wouldn't think apricot, I don't know, me personally, in a red.
Right.
I think dried apricot in whites.
Well, it's more, I think it's the dried nature of it.
Okay.
It's not so much the fresh apricot that you get in this, July, August off your trees, which, have just come off. So I just put a bunch in the freezer, a bunch of those apricots.
I love it.
But it's more the dried apricot where it gets really condensed. And I think it's because you're seeing that mirrored in the Pinot Noir from the time in oak. I mentioned the French oak barrels that we use. We actually are one of the only wineries of our size that barrel ages all of our red wine in small oak barrels. It does several things. It concentrates the flavors, it softens the tannins, and it creates that, the evaporation of alcohol and water to really just kind of make it more complex.
Interesting. And is it oak finished, or literally the whole thing is done in oak?
So our red wines. So the Pinot Noir specifically is fermented in a stainless steel tank where we can control the temperature and the time in which it ferments. And then as soon as it's done fermenting, it's pumped directly into the small oak barrels where it ages for the amount of time that our winemaker Eric and his team feel that it's the right amount of time.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Like it's such a science. It's such this kind of balance.
Yes.
It's like cooking.
Yep.
All right. Apricots in. We have dried chopped apricots. This is a crazy recipe because you don't think of dried fruit in a dressing. but it makes it tangy and sweet and sticky and gives it the mouthfeel that we need.
Okay.
Meg, this is your genius recipe.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then we've got some white wine vin. Beautiful. Salt and pepper, just give it a little pinch.
I was going to say not all of that.
Nope. And then, and then some mustard. You can scrape that in. Now, this is a question to everyone at home, and I'm going to ask Jody. But in making a simple vinaigrette, there's a fat and there's a vinegar, right? And it could be an acid or it could be a lemon.
Yep.
What is the ratio for a salad? And this is kind of a trick question, but I want you to tell me what you think.
Isn't it 2/3 fat to 1/3?
So 1 to 2? So what do you think? 1 to 2 fat to 1 vinegar?
Yes.
Okay, what do you guys say at home? Meg, what are people saying in the chat?
I like stuff really acidic, though.
Me too.
1 to 3 vinegar to fat.
That might be
2 to 1.
Oh, we got an agreement.
I think I'm closer to a 2 to 1.
Yeah. So here's this is a tip. Everyone get the little pens out. 1 to 1 is actually really great for like pasta salads, composed salads.
Okay.
Things like bread salads, potato salads, because I like it very vinegary.
I do too.
And when you have those things, they need it.
Okay.
They suck up the vinegar. 1 to 2 is optional, but I usually don't dress greens 1 to 2. Greens are so delicate, so it's more 1 to 3. But 1 to 2 is if you like it acidic, which Jody and I kind of do. 1 to 3 is if it's something really tender. So arugula, maybe 1 to 3 because they're very tender, but if I had cabbage, I might go 1 to 2. Does that make sense?
And it breaks it down more too.
Exactly.
It makes it soft, and if you have kale, it'll soften that.
100%. So what we're going to do is you're going to whiz this up, and then we're going to add the
drizzle
oil,
it in.
and you're going to kind of eye it.
Oh, you get to?
You get to. I'm not eyeing it.
Oh, I thought you
just
said
hold it
I
down.
am.
No, you were.
I thought you weren't going to let me have the fun with the
You
oil.
are going to do it, yep.
Through the hole, right?
Yeah, and you can just hold it down. So just kind of blitz it up real quick. There you go. And just kind of eye it in. I love that little kind of top hole that just allows you to multiply.
It's really small, though.
It slowly adds it in, makes it super creamy.
If you weren't using the stopper on this, it would be too much.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Glug, 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 you said.
I love it. I love it. Ooh, look at the color on that. I'm digging that. It's like pumpkin, fall, autumn spice. I love it.
What's your favorite season?
Now. What about you?
Sorry, I'm dripping.
No problem.
My favorite season is the end. Like I can't get rid of, like I can't let summer go. I love summer, but I love the flavors and the coziness that comes with fall. Football season.
Oh my god.
So much fun.
But this particular, that looks beautiful.
More?
That looks perfect.
Okay.
This particular time is for cooking, and I think it's interesting that it's also press. Is like tomatoes are still happening, but also like butternut squash is happening.
You've got everything kind of coming together at the same time.
Oh, and it's also like, I love me some watermelon, I love me some stone fruit, I love it all. Summer I love, but I am kind of ready for like the pork chops and the braising, and I'm excited about that. Speaking of which, let's pull these puppies out. Let's just take a look. These look incredible.
Wow. Do you have to flip them at all when they're in? You just leave them alone?
Just leave them alone. And then what we're going to do is...
see that they
smell ridiculous.
They look finished.
So then I'm just going to temp it out. And I'm going to do this on camera just so you guys can kind of see, because I think people always get nervous about kind of, is it done or not? But I'm just going to insert my thermometer in the thickest part. And you guys can't see the temp, but we are well over 145, which is kind of the pork temp. So I'm going to let these we're at about 155. So we're in really good shape.
They'll keep cooking for
They're
a little bit, right?
They're going to keep cooking for about like maybe 5 degrees.
Okay.
But one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick them up. Yeah, what do you think I'm going to do?
I thought you might throw a little more sauce on them.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out and let them rest.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cook the sauce.
Oh, you're going to cook the sauce and make a little pan sauce, throw it over the top?
Yes, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So while I'm doing that, Jody, do you want to toss the salad?
I'm sure.
And this is just one of those things where,
Okay.
yeah, oh yeah, this is a little tricky.
I should have done a dry run.
No, this is why we do.
This
By
is
the way,
great though.
Grab a little fork, test it out, see if you're happy with your ratio.
Yes. It could actually.
Let me see.
Wait. I was all ready to say yes, and then I got the vinegar in the back of the throat.
No, but that's good.
Oh man.
I would actually say that is like prime and perfect. I don't think you overdid it with the vinegar at all.
It hit me a little bit later.
This is like total course on what live cooking is all about.
There you
I
go.
love it. I love it. All right, give it a little toss in there. You got it.
I got it.
All right, and I'm putting my pan sauce just on high heat. So I'm going to reduce it. You can see it's starting to boil, and all the little drippings from the pork are in there. And what I am going to do is take out our little toothpicks. I catered one time a wedding, and I did a stuffed deal like this, and I left the toothpicks in. The bride wasn't thrilled.
Oh,
Let me
boy.
just put it that way.
I can't imagine, actually.
Yeah, it was almost a little hospital run for everybody. But I was a young chef.
How'd you spend your honeymoon? Well.
Yeah, exactly. In the ER. It was great. That looks beautiful. These are one of those salads that you just can't over mix, or you can't overdress. They're just so good.
Well, and the goat cheese will mix with the vinaigrette and become creamy and kind of soften that vinegar that got me.
Yep, that looks amazing. That looks so good. So we'll let that hang. Any
about
last
that one
questions
big onion,
before? Yeah, that's fine. Chunky onions.
Me and the red onions.
You don't do them?
No. They're tough.
Yeah?
They
take you down a little bit?
They don't like me so much.
I love Jody. What questions do you guys have about Bogle cooking? Meg, give us whatever's happening in the chat.
I don't have a question, but I have a good tip. Which is
yeah.
I'll take any of them. Thank you.
to keep that pan handle covered with a dish towel or something. If you know, like when you're forgetful in the
it's hot.
kitchen and you forget that it was in the oven.
Meg, honestly, phenomenal tip.
That is
Seriously.
a good tip.
Because whenever you braise something, you do forget. And this is like the easiest way to kind of burn yourself. So we're going to let that reduce down. Salad is done. Pork is resting. I want to call out again, go try Bogle.
Oh.
$10, like Jody said, is all you need to give them a try. Can you talk a little bit just quickly about the flight, like all the different other varietals that we're talking about?
Yep, so Bogle Family Vineyards, we have a range of wines from, I mentioned our Pinot Grigio.
Yep.
We have a beautiful Sauvignon Blanc. Our Chardonnay is actually our #1 white wine.
Ridiculous. It's so
Thank
good.
you. What I love about our Chardonnay is there's so much going on with it. The Chardonnay, 50% of those grapes actually go through stainless steel fermentation to keep them really crisp and fresh and bright, and the other half go through that barrel fermentation. So while I was talking about how the Pinot ferments in the tank,
Yes.
the Chardonnay actually ferments in the barrel. And then it gets hand stirred once a month, and then those two are combined right before we bottle. So the Chardonnay really is a wonderful wine.
Would you say that's what you're known for?
Yes. Chardonnay and
that's how I was introduced to you guys.
Yep, the Chardonnay and the Merlot. We have a Merlot. We have the Petit Syrah, the first grape my grandfather planted in '68. We still grow Petit Syrah. We have an old vine Zinfandel that's lovely. Our Essential Red is a wonderful, if you're a lover of red blends, easy, approachable, plush, velvety red blends. Essential Red's fun.
Essential
try
Red.
it.
Okay, I haven't tried that one. We did Sauv Blanc, I believe, on the last one. And we have bought it like twice since. I mean, we loved it.
Thank you.
Guys, you can see our little pan sauce has gotten nice and thick, almost like chocolate sauce. So what we're going to do now is just kind of give these guys a quick little, what do you call it? A little slicey, little carve. So instead of going right down, which most people would do, kind of put your knife on an angle and nice long strides, and you just kind of give this a nice slice. And then, you want to grab those plates, Jody? Beautiful. And we could probably take this pan off. Oh,
With a dish towel.
There you go. Oh my gosh, look how syrupy and beautiful that looks. And then I'm just going to open this up so you guys can kind of see what's happening inside. But gorgeous kind of stuffing. Look at that. It's not
pretty.
just perfectly cooked.
It smells so good in here.
You love it?
Oh, I'm really getting the herbs right now.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
All the rosemary and the whole
Something
thing? Oh,
yelling
yeah.
at us.
Our stove sometimes likes to freak out. Okay, and then I'm going to do yours right here. Really, really simple. So just on the bias. And again, the bones in there.
All the stuff came out of mine. I
Not
didn't
really.
go in deep. I didn't go.
No, not really. You were totally fine. So you can cut around the bone. You can leave the bone on.
Okay.
But just so you guys can kind of see at home, I just want to make sure that you guys can see the
Oh, that's
stuffing.
delicious.
I don't think it can. That looks beautiful. Watch how it's going to look on the plate. It's going to look great.
My mom, our classic pork chop dish when I was a kid was pork chops and cream of mushroom soup.
Just right on top?
Well, she would cook it in the oven. She'd bake it all together. And yeah, it was.
I kind of love
and they
that.
were.
I mean, that's Americana.
It is, and they were hard as bricks.
Yeah.
So
people have
whenever
rough
anybody,
connotations with pork chops.
whenever anybody says, "Hey, you want pork chops?" I'm like,
yeah, I know,
because that's kind of where I'm coming from. But
yeah, beets are the same thing for people. They're like used to like canned beets, and then they have fresh ones. They're like, oh my gosh, what
fresh
a game
marinated beets.
Oh,
that's
so
a
good.
wonderful fall winter dish that I just love.
Yes.
Sorry, I got a little radish.
No, you're doing beautiful.
Onion on your...
Okay, I can't believe you can't do the red onions. That makes me really interested.
I can do them cooked.
Yes. Put them right here so everyone can kind of see what's happening here. So I like to kind of press up when I'm plating our kind of pork chop right next to the salad, and then we've got this beautiful sauce, glazy, kind of lacquered with the Bogle Family Vineyards Pinot Noir, and that just kind of goes on top.
And what is it? It's just how it thickened up from the butter.
Yeah. Oh, not even the butter.
Look at how
gelatinous and kind of
it's
viscous.
just glazy and.
I know.
Oh wow.
I know. Guys, that is 45 minutes with Jody Bogle. We did stuffed pork chops, our own little salad. Do you have a little pair of silverware there?
That's yours. This is mine.
Okay, so can I ask one last question?
Of course.
You guys know I kind of geek out with this up with Jody, but do you drink wine when you pair something? We had a beautiful red this past weekend, and do you drink first and then eat and then drink? I'm curious. What's like the proper?
There's no right answer.
Okay.
I personally drink first.
Okay.
Take a sip. I smell it. Who's counting? Where am I at?
You smell it once, then you smell it again.
You're deep. Yeah, you're deep. You're definitely past 20 at this point.
No, I've been counting. I think I'm like
not
at 6.
All. Yeah. You're definitely not.
See,
not even in double digits.
Okay, so I do give it. I like to bring in the aromas, then take a sip,
and then you go. All right, we'll dig in. It does kind of coat your mouth. That's the word you used. I agree.
Oh my goodness. That's a big bite right there.
Well. Not hard as a brick.
Now go back to your wine. So what you're getting, right? Okay, so
100%.
what you're getting now is you're getting that earthiness, and that the earthiness kind of tag teams with the mushrooms, but the cherry from the
100%
from the fresh fruit up front brightens and catches the acidity of the sauce, and it's a counterbalance.
It's a total counterbalance. Pork chops are fatty. The sauce is fatty and rich.
Yeah.
And the Pinot Noir, a lot of reds kind of almost battle it. This complements it. This just makes it brighter, heightens it. Lena, can you hold that up one more time, because that was insane.
Oh,
beautiful.
Look, it's gorgeous. Good job.
That looks awesome. That looks awesome.
But where's her wine? Where's your wine?
What? Joel got it.
Where is it?
Okay. Oh, she had to flash it. Well, by the way, we know that a lot of homemakers have been really, really into Bogle since we've done this kind of 3-class series.
Thank you so much.
We love that you guys are trying it, that you're open to it. We've gotten some incredible feedback. So if you do have it, throw it in the chat. One last plug. Store locator, we have it in the chat. So you can click, find the closest store that carries Bogle Family Vineyards. Jody, you're going to have to come back, whether you like it or not.
I hope so. Joel, thank you so much.
You are the best.
Cheers.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
It's been so much fun.
You're a very, very busy person. But we're going to get you back in the kitchen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Any last questions, thoughts? Meg, how we doing?
I think everyone just loved this class.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think we lost count of the smell count.
That's okay. But it was
Single
less
digits.
than last time.
It was single digits. What was your friend's name that called you out?
Kathy.
Kathy, how dare you? All right. Well, take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. Next class. This is Thursday with a tom yum salmon with smashed cucumber salad. Be really good. Take care, everybody.
Delicious.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Cheers.
Sauvignon Blanc.